This is question 6 from section 1 of the 2004 BMAT, and this question asked to find the underlying assumption in the argument. So let's just remind ourselves we're looking for something that's not said in the argument but is needed to draw the conclusion. So if we just read the argument, it says recent research shows that people who keep pets tend to live longer. So it's just reporting a fact, what the research showed. 2 says the reason seems to be a combination of basically 3 things. So increased exercise, for instance from dog walking or riding horses. Secondly, soothing effects, so that's from stroking animals. And thirdly, emotional benefits from relationships with the animals. And this is just expanding on what the research said. And lastly, they say everyone should own a pet if they can, with the exception of people who are allergic. And that's their opinion on what people should do. It's a relatively simple argument. Basically, they've got one fact, which is that pets help people live longer, and that leads to this conclusion that everyone should own a pet. Their fact is pets help you live longer. The exact reasons don't particularly matter because the benefit is living longer. And then they must be making some assumption because it's an assumption question. And they say everyone without allergies should have pets. So there are a few ways you could try to put an assumption in, but in this case it's probably better to look at the individual options. So let's start with A. A says that people with allergies can never have. So is this an assumption the writer's making? Well, it might seem like it is because they're saying they're making an exception for people with allergies. So maybe it seems like they're saying, well, those people with allergies shouldn't have pets. But are they actually saying that? Suppose we do the not test, and we assume the opposite of this. So suppose people with allergies can have pets, or at least some of them can have pets. Is it wrong to draw this conclusion? No, because this is just saying what people without allergies should do. So it might be that everyone without allergies should have pets, and also everyone with allergies should have pets. Or everyone without allergies should have pets, and some people with allergies should have pets. It doesn't matter to the writer's conclusion what people with allergies do. The conclusion is only relevant to people without allergies. So assuming the opposite of this doesn't break the argument, so this isn't a necessary assumption, even if we think the writer does believe it. B says that the more pets you have, the longer you'll live. Does that seem like something the writer thinks or relies on? Well, they're saying that having pets versus not having pets is what helps you live longer, on average. But there's 2 aspects to that. So firstly, it's just a sort of on-off switch. Either you have pets or you don't. They're not saying that increasing the number of pets you have after you have some pets is going to make a difference, which is what B seems to be saying. So B seems to be stronger than what they're saying. And also B seems to apply to everyone, whereas their evidence is only about what tends to make you live longer. So either way, B is too strong to be an assumption they're making. C says that dogs, horses and cats are always affectionate. Is this an assumption they're making? Well, they do refer to affection from animals, affectionate relationships. But firstly, this is only about some pets, and affection is only one of the ways pets can help you live longer. And in any case, as we just said, what matters is keeping pets tends to help you live longer. It's a statistical claim, so this is just missing the point because they're not talking about what's always the case, just what's the case on average. So that's also not an assumption they could be making. D says that people who haven't had pets might not understand the benefits. So does that seem like something they're assuming? Well, they're not talking about what people do or don't understand, and whether or not you understand the benefits isn't really relevant to whether you gain the benefits. So this just doesn't seem relevant to the argument at all. And lastly, E says that everyone should try to live for longer. Well, that seems like maybe it could at least be relevant because the argument's about living longer. Also, we've ruled out everything else, so we hope this is the assumption. So let's do the not test. Let's assume the opposite of this. I suppose not everyone should try to live for longer. Then suppose pets help you live longer, but not everyone should try to live for longer. Well, those people who shouldn't or aren't obliged to try to live for longer, they have no particular reason to have pets. And in that case, the conclusion wouldn't follow, and the argument would break. So this is a necessary assumption. And the answer is E.